Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles X. Wir müssen ja jetzt zum Blade Quartier und ich würde sagen, das machen wir direkt, indem wir einfach um den Turm herumlaufen. Ich glaube, so war das ungefähr. Ja, doch, sieht richtig aus. Ich hoffe, wir schalten bald diese Quick Travel Geschichten frei. Weil das wäre eigentlich auch, dann geht's nicht lang, upsie, weil ich glaube, das wäre auch ganz angenehm. Aber noch sind die Wege ja nicht so lang und das kann ich dann auch noch mal zu Fuß gehen. Das denke ich, kriege ich noch hin auf jeden Fall. Hier müsste doch eigentlich sein, oder? Ja, hier, oh mein Gott, das hat jetzt so gebracht, ey.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks. Consider yourself our guest until we finish getting you registered. Feel free to come and go as you please.
I think I can answer that one. So, you must be the latest rescue.
Secretary Nagi!
Miss Ku. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I ran into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
No, nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work out there.
Just doing my job, Mr. Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here...
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
Ah yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
I'll put on some tea.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until he knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
Well then, where should we begin? Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on, It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
Take a look at this. The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
Ah, yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations. Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Those of us who escaped on the White Whale spent over 2 years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission, find a habitable planet and settle there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat. Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Ku, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir. Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
Oh, ich dachte, das hört ja nie wieder auf, aber jetzt machen wir, glaube ich, einen kleinen Rundgang. Ja, sieht ganz so aus, aber erstmal müssen wir aus diesem Gebäude mal rausfinden. Da geht's, glaube ich, runter. Ja, wenn man dieses sehr lange Gespräch mal zusammenfasst, könnte ich sagen, ja, wir müssen den Lebensspeicher auf jeden Fall wiederfinden. Ich glaube, das war so ziemlich das einzig Wichtige in diesem langen Gespräch.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that skill. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
Okay. Befunden.
Now this guy gets it. Aren't they just the coolest? Just everything about them. The lasers, the force fields, the bipedal and vehicular transformations. You ever have that dream where you're inside one and it's just transforming over and over and over? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I don't normally show this to people, but I've been working on some Skell fanfiction.
Ja gut, wieso nicht?
Pull it up here, one sec.
Nee, lass mal lieber du. Nee.
Right. Sorry.
Ich weiß nicht, ich feiere Lin irgendwie.
To counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far, so fast, without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test?
Ja, genau, das habe ich mir gerade gedacht. Wo kann man da hingehen und sich da eine Lizenz besorgen?
You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the Mission Control Board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
Ja, supi, dann kriegen wir jetzt gezeigt, wo wir uns unsere Missionen abholen können. Das finde ich cool und ich hoffe, wir machen in diesem Part auch noch ein paar, aber ich denke, das kriegen wir hin.
So this is Mission Control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every Blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of Blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the Scout console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the Scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Hey,
Okay, ja, dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir mal zum also zum Blade Terminal müssen wir jetzt. Okay, das ist hier, oder? Ja, sieht so aus.
Ta-da! The Blade Scout console. When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout console. You know, to get tougher.
If you do end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one Blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other Blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell Blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you're ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
Oh ja, das klingt sehr gut. Ich hoffe, da kann man ein paar, nette Sachen kaufen. Jetzt muss ich mir die Kamera mal wieder schön zurechtdrehen. Perfekt. Und dann gehen wir direkt ohne Umwege zu diesem Waffenarsenal-Dingens. Das ist scheinbar hier.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie, most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell? Huh? Oh, right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
Okay, dann würde ich sagen, auf geht's zum Turm. Der war da vorne. Wenn ich mich nicht irre. Ja, genau, da war der. Und ich sprinte auch direkt wieder dahin, würde ich sagen. Ja, also bisher haben wir schon einiges rausgefunden. Mehr oder weniger nützlich für uns, aber ich denke, das ist schon ganz nice to know, wo wir unsere Waffen kaufen können. Habe ich mich nämlich die ganze Zeit schon gefragt. Genau, und da vorne... Ups, ist es dann auch schon so. Irgendwie ist die Minimap, finde ich, ein bisschen verwirrend manchmal. Aber genau, hier sind wir richtig. Da ist der Turm.
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chassan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
Okay, wir haben eine Handlungsmission abgeschlossen. Okay, dann würde ich sagen, machen wir das mal. Gut, und jetzt dürfen wir sogar eigenhändig zurücklatschen. Das ist doch toll. Ups, da geht's nicht. Oh, das ist irgendwie ein bisschen mich hier in NLA bewegen. Das muss ich irgendwie noch ein bisschen üben, um den Weg zu finden und so, weil, ja, wie gesagt, ich finde es teilweise schon ein bisschen verwirrend hier alles. Weil alles, wie gesagt, alles so irgendwie so verschachtelt und so komisch aufgebaut irgendwie. Naja, ich denke, das kriege ich hin. Und jetzt müssen wir, wie gesagt, zurücklaufen. Da vorne hin. So, da wären wir auch schon. Jetzt muss ich nur noch reingehen.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment. What in the hell are we waiting for? As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
Okay, dann würde ich sagen, ja, machen wir das mal. Vielleicht ist es die schlimmste Entscheidung unseres Lebens, aber für den Moment würde ich sagen, ja, ihr könnt auf mich zählen.
Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called FrontierNav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The FrontierNav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Norma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Gut, dann bestreiten wir diese Mission, würde ich sagen. Kapitel 2, neues Land. Gut, unsere erste Mission, auch wenn es nur eine Trainingsmission ist, freue ich mich natürlich schon sehr darauf. Also wir müssen jetzt so eine Sonde installieren, um das Computer-Navigationssystem zu erweitern. So habe ich das zumindest jetzt verstanden.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigen activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigen butt, huh? Seriously? That was you? Cool.
I don't think so. Those Grexes we took down were fairly routine. Definitely not something they'd lock both gates over, at least.
Then I take my cool back. But wait a sec. You guys fought Grexes? The two of you? Hey, that's still pretty cool. They've been hassling a lot of teams lately, especially how they hunt in packs and all.
Let's not get too excited. Confidence can be good. Overconfidence can be fatal, especially when you're new.
Yeah, you're right.
But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
So, dann... Ah, genau, jetzt habe ich auf dem Gamepad auch eine Karte von der Welt. Und dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir zum Osttor und installieren diese Sonde. Ich denke, da geht's lang. Ja, sieht so aus. Und jetzt geht's endlich mal wieder in die schöne, weitläufige Welt. Da freue ich mich auf jeden Fall schon wieder drauf, da ein bisschen durchlatschen zu können. Und es ist auch, ja, Abend bzw. Nacht. Und es sieht wirklich sehr toll aus mit den Lichtern am Himmel und den 2 Monden. 3. Ja, okay. Anderer Planet. Andere Monde, würde ich sagen. Aber die Welt sieht einfach so toll aus, auch bei Nacht. Viele sagen ja, bei Nacht wird die nicht so toll aussehen, aber ich finde bei Nacht, gerade guckt mal euch den Himmel an. Ich finde, gerade bei Nacht sieht die besonders gut aus, bei Tag natürlich auch, aber gerade bei Nacht finde ich die sehr schön. Und da vorne ist auch schon unser Bestimmungsort. Okay, da liegen ein paar Monster, aber die stören uns scheinbar nicht.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Cynicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless...
Unless... what?
This is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Cynicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Cynicula.
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Cynicula, right? Usually we'd find one Simius standing over 3 or 4 Sonicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sonicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sonicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid. Whoa there, rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
We should probably explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
Well, alright. I'm game if you are. Count me in, Elma. Let's do this. If we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. We can't just keep running forever, you know? Besides, I'd never forgive myself if someone else ended up getting hurt because we just left it here.
All right. Let's do it. But don't push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Ja, würde ich sagen, let's do this. Okay, also ein Tyrann, also eine besonders mächtige Kreatur haben wir hier. Ja, würde ich sagen, greifen wir direkt mal an. Und ich nehme mal stark an, dass es nicht einfach werden wird. Aber ich habe ja schon in der letzten Folge gelernt. Können Sie das Ding nochmal angucken. Boah, was ist das? Das ist echt ein Monster. Guckt euch das Vieh mal an. Dass ich ein bisschen auf die Distanz gehe. Und dass es dann etwas einfacher wird. Ich habe schon ein bisschen Leben verloren. Deswegen gehe ich noch ein Stückchen zurück hier. Perfekt, und dann mache ich hier mal so eine Brandgranate. Perfekt, und das Vieh hat auch schon einiges eingesteckt. Von daher denke ich, werden wir das auf jeden Fall tot kriegen. So, das Vieh ist gleich down und achtet nochmal auf den Namen. Habt ihr es gesehen? Volker der Rasende. Okay. Ja, ich muss dazu sagen, das war mein zweiter Versuch, weil beim ersten war ich dann irgendwie down und fast hätten Elmar und Linus alleine geschafft, weil dann war die Zeit abgelaufen, weil man hat dann ja immer so nur 30 Sekunden Zeit. Und wenn das Vieh bis dahin nicht gestorben ist, dann muss man den Kampf wiederholen. Ja, und das ist bei mir eingetreten, deswegen war es eben der zweite Versuch. Das Vieh war gar nicht mal so schwach, aber ja, ist halt noch Tutorial-Phase und so.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try. Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
Excellent. See, at the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
So, und da bekommen wir auch unsere Beute von diesem Kampf. Und ich würde sagen, wenn es euch gefallen hat, dann hinterlasst mir gerne einen Daumen nach oben. Wenn ihr nichts mehr verpassen wollt, dann abonniert mich auch gerne kostenlos. Ansonsten würde ich sagen, viel Spaß beim Zocken und bis zum nächsten Video. Tschüss!